What's up, everybody? Spencer Lazari here on Google Hangout once again for an interview with Lorenz Larkin. Fight week. You're dropping to welterweight. You've got washboard abs. You feel like you're on the juice. You were quoted. So let's start with that. What's going on with this
Yeah,
quote? It's something I was telling you. I don't know if you should ever say that because we know you've always been the guy, if anything, who the other guy was juicing, not you. So, and I
yeah,
assume you're not talking about Georgie's style of juicing.
yeah. Not the beat juicing. Nah, man. I could say that type of stuff. Because what's the worst that could happen? They drug test me. I mean, it's pretty known out there that I don't even really mess with like protein and all that type of stuff. So the most I'll ever do is like post workout.
Yeah.
Me going really crazy is like juicing, like I don't know, like some celery and an apple. That's like me going crazy. So I don't even, I'm too scared to eat. I'm scared of needles, so everybody knows I don't juice.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that's something that we know, but it was funny because, these people read a headline these days and they jump to all sorts of conclusions.
Yeah,
I
but
just
it's
thought it was funny.
cool.
But
I mean,
yeah, speaking of that, then if you're not doing anything like that, and what have you changed to get down to the diet? Laying off the Sour Patch Kids, I'm sure, but you always had to do that in camp.
man, you know what? I like how I feel, dude, is like how could I say? The initial cut was kind of hard just to get me down where where I wanted to be as far as in weight, but everything else, man, it wasn't like today I had Applebee's, like I had like a club sandwich, with fries and I
Really?
mean, yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like now that I've got down in weight, I pretty much like I eat healthy, like sometimes like when I want to get lower in weight, I'll eat like a spinach salad with croutons, you know what I mean, and like cucumbers and like a honey mustard dressing, but like it's crazy because I could still eat. Like a couple of days ago, I had an interview, and I literally that night before, it was like I want to say a week ago. I had two pastrami dogs from Wiener Schnitzel, two big fat chicken tacos from Del Taco, and a donut and that night. So it's crazy because now that I'm at this weight, I don't know. I should be a nutritionist, dude. Like people should say F Dolce and they need the Lorenz diet because I have you eating what you want to eat, feeling
How did
good about yourself.
how did you do this? I don't understand. What are you weighing right now?
Right. Well, after practice, I went to UFC gym and hit mitts for a little bit. I jumped in the sauna for like 10 minutes, and I was 180. No, sorry, 179.5.
We were under 180 already. That's
Yeah,
improving.
that's after workout. I'm waking up like 83.
Sure. So you're okay. Yeah, you'll put on a few pounds of water, obviously, overnight. But I mean, hey, that's still pretty phenomenal considering that would mean after a practice you'd only have another 8 pounds of solid.
Yeah, and I'm not dying.
How did you
This is like
how did you do it? I mean, how did you drop the weight? You didn't change in training, really, right?
no, what was probably a really big factor that the person that really probably gave me the best advice I've ever had was Mark Munoz, and he just said run, man. Make sure you do like an hour run, and he said make sure, dude, you're not running fast. He said just a slow hour run. He said make sure that you're able when you're running to talk on the phone and talk to people, and that like helped me out a lot. Like not now my runs, I've been running a lot more, and my runs are like 48 minutes, 50 minutes, but they're slow pace. They're about 4 miles, 3 point something miles sometimes.
Just a
And it's
constant
just a
burn.
slow run, and that I think that's what got off a lot of weight. You know what I mean?
I mean, how much were you cutting when you were at 85? When it would come time to what would you get down to fight week then?
Well, shoot, my first fight at 85 when I fought Lawler, I was at 233 when I started camp. Yeah, I know.
Week of the
And
fight?
then my coaches, they're telling me, I need to be a little lower. So I was I would like to get off the plane at about 201,
Wow.
headed to, like headed to the hotel for the, UFC. So I would like to get off the plane and show up and be about 201,
It's pretty
200.
crazy, man, how far you've come. 205, 185, and now you're already weighing under 180 here, leading
Heavyweight.
the fight on Sunday. Yeah, heavyweight, huh? First ones.
Amateur was heavyweight.
Do you feel faster now? I mean, it has to feel good to have those abs, I've been joking with you about seeing all these pictures. I think you're loving the shirt off stuff now even more.
Nah, man. The guys at the gym try to joke around and try to say that, I have my shirt off more, but I don't. I had it off the same. You can now, but now you notice, you know what I mean? First I was just a little pudgy dude with his shirt off around the gym. Now I got a couple packs, you know what I mean? But I still think the six packs are overrated, man.
Shoot, skinny guy like me, that's all I got. I can't put on the muscle, so. Um, So, I mean, talk about then going down. This is another guy who's coming down in weight. Well, he's been at 85, I should say, but he's fought now at 70. Talk about facing him and, um, you know, how you feel going into this camp, your speed at that weight, things like that I think are interesting.
Yeah, my training partners, they've been saying that, my strength is still there. You know what I mean? And I feel like my speed is still there. So I'm interested to see how the fight goes because I feel strong. I don't feel like I've got weak, at this weight. So and I feel like my gas tank is probably a lot better. So you know what I mean. So it's good, But I mean, you can't really say until the fight. You know what I mean. I know how I feel now, but I don't know how I feel. Say when I've already weighed in and now it's time to fight.
Did you switch up any of your training partners to a little bit smaller of guy? Because I know you're going with our buddy One Speed over there. He's a big boy, and I don't know, with Sean Strickland around a little bit. I know he's making the cut down with you, so it's kind
Yeah.
of thing. I mean, have you switched that up at all?
No, it's good. That really helped me out a lot too, because Sean's making the cut to 172. So we're I started first with my cut, and then he kind of started in. But it's good to have two guys going through the same you know thing at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's good, and we get to test ourselves with each other. At a smaller weight. And it's crazy because I know when he's a little heavy, and he could tell when I'm a little heavy. That is a big difference. When he's like 98 and I'm lower than that, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, how much you weigh right now? Do you feel the difference?
Yeah. Tom, you were up in Big Bear a little bit too, some of that elevation training, and like you said, the running. I mean, that has to be a big reason why that gas tank is high. And um, also, another interesting thing I always like to talk about, you have a win over the champion right now at the weight class that you're dropping to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I try not to think about too much. I don't really want to hype it up or nothing like that, because I feel like I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm more concerned about getting my wins back where it should be. You know what I mean? Just like even if I was to win this fight, in an impressive way, I'm not gonna be too happy about it. I'm happy that I won. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that I get to display what I've learned. And show people what my team is all about. But it's not gonna make me feel how I should be feeling. You know what I mean? It's not a cool thing when you lose in UFC, especially when I feel like it was because I was stubborn. You know what I mean? It's not like with Philippou, let's keep it real. I got caught. You know what I mean? And that can happen to anybody, and he deserved that 100%. Not talking anything about him, but the other fights, I just feel like I was a smaller guy. You know what I mean? And things that if I was a little equal to, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't understand. Like, yeah, we weigh in the same, but when it comes to fight day, you know what I mean? That's what I always tell people. Like when I fight these guys, man, it's like on weigh-ins. When I looked at Philippou or when I look at Tavares or you know what I mean, when I look at Brunson, I'm like, dude, my coach is always telling me like I need to drop weight, but these guys aren't big. You know what I mean? They don't look that big. But fight day, that's when shit changes, and especially I noticed that with Tavares. Tavares is a big boy.
Mhm.
I didn't notice until fight day. You know what I mean? Same thing with Philippou. Same thing with Brunson. You know what I mean? I never really noticed until fight day, and I'm like, damn, this these dudes put on a lot of weight. You know what I mean?
And you've always been the faster guy, I would say, in pretty much all of those fights. But now dropping down to 70, I don't see. I still feel like you'll be, just as fast in terms of who you're fighting, and won't have a speed disadvantage if anything against them, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that I feel like at 70, it's gonna be just a normal, even playing field. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be the small guy. And there's only a couple, big 170ers, but other than that, I'm like a normal 170 pounder. Maybe on some occasions the big 170.
Hmm. I would say
So
that.
I
I'd
feel
say
like,
you're borderline big, but that's
oh,
crazy how low your weight is right now. That's
yeah.
tremendous.
So I'm happy to see how it goes, because now I feel like I'm not gonna see the big guys no more. I'm kind of one of them. So I'm really anxious to see how this little venture goes.
John's a well-rounded guy. We've seen him wrestle a little bit. Got some takedowns against Uriah Hall. Mixed in very nicely, but seems to like to stand, which is usually what you like to do. I mean, talk about him as an opponent and what he brings to the table.
John Howard is he's a tough dude. He's not scared to bite down on his mouthpiece and sink his toes into the canvas and go for it. So that's good though. Because it's just gonna bring the better out of me. It's gonna put a I'm hopefully it's gonna put on a good show for the fans. And I hope it turns into a good fight. But I'm ready. I'm so ready for wherever the fight goes. If it goes to the ground, if he wants to wrestle, if he wants to strike, I feel like I'm ready. And I feel like positions that might have would have hurt me in the past, it's not going to really hurt me now.
One of the advantages he has, of course, is fighting in his hometown. I know he's hungry and really always pushes for that fight in his home area. Talk about going into hostile territory.
Every fight is hostile territory for me. I have not yet got a fight out in I mean, yeah, I haven't got a fight out in SoCal, so it's like doesn't really matter. I'm used to it. It'd be totally different. They gave me him at the Staples. Now I might be nervous. You know what I mean? Because now I'm fighting. I'm like, oh, I got all my friends, my family. But this is like norm.
It's kind of weird though when you're that guy. Like sometimes you'll hear the boos that happened in Cheaty kind of this weekend. You're hearing boos. It's a good thing kind of for you, right? I mean, you
Hmm.
have to be like, okay, I'm using my movement. I'm picking and popping a little bit maybe, what you like to do, and maybe that's a good thing if you're hearing those boos.
I mean, booze are booze. You know what I mean? I mean, I always look at it like this: if they're gonna boo me, they're gonna boo me. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be respectful. As long as the other guy is respectful. You know what I mean? But if they want to boo me, they can boo me.
Yeah. Well, he seems like a respectful guy. I'm sure it's tenfold. And
Yeah.
you've always been that guy too. So, one interesting thing I was reading yesterday was the UFC chose to go against the football game, kind of. Well, the prelims are anyway. Now you're on the main card, correct?
I believe I'm the last on the prelims.
Okay, so yeah, so you might be the
I
game
think.
might be wrapping up, and you might get a lot of viewership kind of heading your way from the game, being pushed directly to Fox Sports One for your fight. That's a pretty cool little thing that I feel like that's something you can talk about.
Yeah, I didn't know how that was set up. I didn't really understand why it was getting played on Sunday.
Yeah, it was totally random, and that's why when I read this thing yesterday, I mean, I guess I kind of get it. You're going to get that toss over, maybe the game's not closed anyway, and people sort of leave a little earlier even and head over. But other than that, the prelims will probably be kind of maybe viewership down a little, but then as the prelims end and then the main card goes, I think they're expecting it to spike extremely high, which is just it's kind of an interesting theory.
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
about. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I didn't know if you were going to say anything more, so I just tried to move on.
No, no, I think I didn't really know too much. I didn't know. I thought that maybe they're planning on doing something Saturday. That's why they're playing it Sunday, having the fights. So I didn't know.
Yeah. Um, well, Georgie's got a fight too this weekend. A guy you've been spending some time with. I mean, talk
Yeah,
about him and how he's ready for Bellator against a tough wrestler.
he's ready, man. He's been working really hard. You know, he just bought his house. Oh, he's had it for a little bit out in Crestline. You know, that just tells you how serious he's taking. You know, taking not just this fight, but any fight. You know what I mean? He wants to take his training to the next level. You know, so you know, he's been training really hard, man. He's been working his wrestling. We have a great wrestling coach now, and you know, I'm pumped to see how it goes. You know, I know that Georgie is tough, man. He's one tough little Russian, man.
He's one of the more
he,
underrated fighters maybe in the world, I think, still to this point. Like,
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean, and I feel sorry for if Bubba, you know, gets reckless and tries to shoot a double or go for that single. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, man. Bubba's cool. He's a pretty good fighter, but there's too many weapons that Georgie has,
yeah,
and
the
I'm talking from
experience
experience, man. You know
difference
what I
is
mean?
huge.
And yeah, and I'm way bigger than Georgie. You know what I mean? And I try to bring it to him, and he always brings it right back, man. He always every single time I'm trying to do something to him, he's threatening me with something, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Right on, man. Um, you got the bell in your head representing Riverside. Are you gonna dye the hair too, or stay in black again?
Nah, nah, nah. Stay in black. Had to get ready, man. You know what I mean? Show Boston what's up. Show him
You're almost gonna have to
what's up with
like
this
get
belt.
out there and have someone touch it up when you're out there, though. It's like 5 days. It's gonna grow a little bit, no?
No, man. That's probably what they want. It'll be like a half shaved off bell if I let somebody from Boston do it.
It's a good point. That's a very good.
As they're cutting me, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, so who you fighting?" I'm be like, "Oh yeah, John Doomsday." They're like, "Oh yeah, jerk."
Cool, man. Well, anything else you want to say for this one?
Man, everybody tune in, man. It's great. I'm so ready, man, and feeling good. And this is gonna be a. I feel like it's gonna be a great 170 debut.
Awesome. Are we gonna see maybe a prank to again on your mom maybe on fight weekend? Maybe you call her from the locker room, Mom, I got the runs. I can't fight. Something? No.
I know. I don't know. I think I ran out with her. Man, I gotta pick on somebody else. She's starting to know everything now.
Yeah, it's
Can't get
coming.
her no
The
more.
first one I thought was the greatest. So if you guys haven't seen that, you can go check it out on Lorenz's Facebook. If you go back a little ways, he made his mom think he
Yeah.
needed to go to the ER real quick.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube.
There you go. All right, man. Best of luck, and have a safe trip. Obviously, you leave tomorrow morning, right? And fighting on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Leave tomorrow. Got to make sure I'm just ready. You know what I mean? I feel good. I got some muscles now, so now I might flex at weigh-ins. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely different than the 205 Lorenz or the heavyweight Lorenz. But excited to
Yeah.
see you nonetheless. Good luck, man, and we'll see you on Sunday. Fox Sports 1.
All right. Thanks.